Four detached markets in Vancouver are moving slower today than they have in years, and that's creating opportunities that simply did not exist during the last cycle. In this video, we're going to break down Point Grey, the British properties, and two other detached neighborhoods where inventory is elevated, pricing has softened, and sellers are losing leverage. We'll walk through live market data, including pricing trends, active inventory, and absorption rates, so you can understand where negotiating power has shifted and how to make informed decisions if you're looking to buy in this part of the market. Stick around because this is about identifying opportunity through softness, not guessing at the bottom. So let's jump right into the charts here. And what I have for you here are the four markets. So you're going to see Point Grey here in green, the Cambie area in orange, British properties in purple, and Dundrave in blues. These are some of the lowest performing sales ratios in the detached space around Vancouver, and I wanted to highlight this for you. So we're going to start here with the pricing. Keep in mind, you're going to see some of these big jump and hikes here, just like in the British properties here, but it's because some of the sales data is so limited. So you're going to see that obviously here in the British properties for average pricing. It's gone from June of 2025 from 3.1 million, and then it's jumped up here to just under 4. This last month, there was just 2 sales. So if you obviously have some higher price sales and one of them was in the $5 million mark, you're going to bring those averages up. So just keep that in mind, because this is, something that we can look at in terms of pricing, but if it's not buried with enough data, it doesn't mean that the pricing are actually at these levels. And that's where we're going to get into the sales to active ratio to prove this. So if we look at these 4 levels here, and we have a chart here over the last 5 years. So Point Grey is down year over year, 11.1% in pricing. Average Point Grey home is at 3.199 million. In the Cambie area, down 1.4% in the orange here, just over $3 million at $3,037,500. You have the British properties that actually seen a 7.9% increase year over year in average price point, just sitting under $4 million at 3.9. And then Dundrave, a drop of 7.4%, 2.825 million. So if you look at Dundrave as a whole, just in these metrics here, really good value in the blue. At its peak here in 2022, it was sitting at $3.985 million. It was actually the highest of all these 4 areas. And you can see that it's dropped now to under 3 million. So on West Vancouver soil, to have an average price point in an area that performed quite well, under $3 million, shows you where the market is. And this is where I want to show you here, just in terms of the sales ratio as a whole. So this is where I really look at where things are at. And again, this is on a 5-year spread. This is where it's at its pinnacle here in August of 2021, where we were all firmly planted, other than the British properties, in seller market conditions. We fast forward here with the recent data from December, and you can see that we've had these massive declines. For example, Dundrave, 26.2% drop in the sales ratio. So it's sitting at a 9% sales ratio. So for every 100 homes, just 9 are selling in Dundrave. And that is firmly planted in buyer market conditions. Again, we saw what that pricing was just a couple years ago on average, just around that $4 million mark. It's now under 3. So if you are looking on some detached property and you're open to West Vancouver, you're living in West Vancouver now, Dundrave is definitely a pocket that I'm looking at for some value. Again, we have another very soft property segment, British properties, at 5.5% sales ratio. So even worse than Dundrave. So out of every 100 homes, 5.5 are selling. That's actually a little bit of an improvement year over year, 7.8% in terms of where it's been. But again, this is the lowest performing metric for sales to active ratio of these 4 ones here, and one of the worst performing in all segments across Vancouver. We have Cambie. It's seen a little bit of an uptick of 2.5%, but it's still sitting at 8.3% sales ratio. Here in the orange, it's taking a little bit of a downturn. And then Point Grey in the green, it's dropped 46.3%, 6.5% sales ratio. So all 4 of these ones here firmly planted in buyer market conditions. I have another video that's about to drop where there was a court-ordered sale in the Point Grey area. It was around a 6-year-old home that sold under that $3 million mark. So there is value as these court-ordered sales happen more and more. They're starting to drop down the price. And then you're seeing, just in terms of inventory levels and just the overall appetite in these higher end property markets, some opportunity here for those who are willing to jump in at some sort of a discount. So I want to show you in terms of some of the other metrics that we're looking at, just to show you why there's some value in these areas here. So if we look at some of these total inventory levels, and this is over the last 5 years. And you can see that they've all have been increasing to almost all-time highs. Again, Point Grey, a 33.8% increase in inventory over the last 12 months. As of December, there's 95 detached homes, in a segment that has been very constricted in some of the lows where, you may just have 23 units available at the low, 21 here back in 2021. You're seeing almost 4 times the amount of selection in that Point Grey area. The same can be said with British properties. We've seen a 9.8% increase in inventory, 90 homes available in that one segment at that low 5.5% sales ratio. So you're having a ton of selection here. Again, in the low point, you'd be seeing around 68, and this is the most that we've seen in quite a number of years. We go down to Cambie. It's seen a little bit of a decline from its peak in 2022. You could see around 66 homes. It's dropped a little bit here, but it's dropped 1.9%. Keep in mind, these are December numbers. I expect it to be lower here, as unless you are very, very desperate in the market itself, likely a lot of property is going to be coming to market in the next couple months for the spring. So if we're already seeing these high inventory levels in these areas in a January market, in a December market previously, and then January continuing on, likely these numbers are going to go much higher than that, and you're going to have more of that selection. But my argument for anyone buying who is in a position to purchase right now, for people who are selling, there's usually a reason why they're needing to move. Financial constraints, maybe there's been a divorce, maybe they know that they're not going to be able to make their mortgage renewal. Keep in mind, this year, 60% of all Canadian mortgages are being renewed in 2026. And on average, you're seeing around a 20% increase in your payment. There's even a subsection of homeowners that are going to see over 35% in increases. So obviously, as you get into these higher property purchases, that spread in terms of what that jump in interest will be, if you're just under that 2% and getting it around 4, when you're sitting at property values of maybe you bought at 3, 4, 5, $6 million, that is going to be something that there's going to be individuals that aren't going to be able to afford that. So these are some of the markers that we're looking for. And then finally here, Dundreave, a 26.9% increase in inventory at 33 units. Some of the low points here, you'd have about 20, 21 here back in April of 2021. So there's a lot of selection in terms of historical context here. I mean, even if we pull this back 10 years, we're nearing all-time highs in inventory in a market such as January, as I highlighted, where it should be historically lower. And we'll see where these things go in the spring in terms of where more of this inventory is going to come to pass. Because when you look at some of these highlights in these markets, when you've seen pinnacles, April, May, this is a spring market. This is where you start to see inventory increase because more people want to take advantage of those markets. Then you start getting into the winter months here, and you see some of the lows. So when you see a run up here from January 2021, we're using British properties here as an example, just a continued run up just shows you what's been going on in the marketplace here as a whole. And again, here in Dundreave, you saw a pinnacle here in 2019. Again, these are in spring market conditions. So it's going to be interesting as Dundreave, for example, since March of 2024, has just had this continued increase of inventory as a whole. If we look at overall sales, again, no surprise, we're seeing an increase of inventory, but these sales numbers, and again, this is over the last 10 years, have just continued to go down. Point Grey is seeing that, 21% decrease year over year in terms of sales. Cambie saw a drop of 4%. British properties saw an increase of 24.5%. But again, British properties in December just had 2 sales. So when you see these big spikes and drops, if you don't have a lot of data behind it, it's hard to really put any weight behind that. And then again, Dundreave saw another drop of 23.1% with that. So when we look at, finally days on market with all these, we were a little bit all over the place. This is 10 years. Let's bring it back to 3 years just to see where things are at. On average, keep in mind, these numbers can be manipulated a little bit. They show that, Point Grey selling on average 25 days, Cambie 14 days, British property 42 days, and Dundreave 16. But the reason why you see these numbers, and if you look at them and just look at the stat and say, wow, I can sell something within a couple of weeks in this market, that's pretty good. You can manipulate these stats here in BC. Every time you terminate a listing, you cancel it, you take it off market and bring it back, it just starts that timer fresh. So likely what this shows, and when I see in this environment specifically, if you are priced properly, and I would guess if we would look at some of the sales data, especially here in Cambie with 14 days, once you actually adjust the price and you are in an area that makes sense for buyers, it can move pretty quickly. That's been no matter what the segment is. I mean, with anything, if you are priced correctly, it will move. It's not like there's no buyers out there. There is, and the people push back against the stat, but there is a lot of pent up demand in the marketplace. And we know that there's a ton of buyers out there. I had 3 active listings between the 3 of them, around 40 to 50 to 60 showings on each of them. And between that, we've only had 2 offers. But there's a ton of buyers out there. Even being months on market, we're still quite active. They're just really, really picky and they want value. And when buyers are seeing value in the marketplace, they are jumping on it. And despite, in the Cambie area, when we go back to sales price, even with an average price at $3 million, these properties are moving in 14 days. So it shows that if that value comes down, it will move. And that is, for all my sellers out there right now, or if you're thinking of selling, you need to understand the type of market that we're in. This has been a long drawn out process of these micro declines, and I believe this is going to continue to happen over the course of 2026. And if you're really wanting to make a move, you need to be priced strategically to be able to move that. More days on market, you're going to end up selling for a lot less. This is not the market for you to try to test something. This is a market if you're actually wanting to sell, if you want to take advantage of an upsize, or if something happened in your personal life and you have to move, life throws us detours, there's nothing you can do about it. But you need to be realistic in terms of your pricing. All the listings that you see that are terminated and expired is because they have been on market for a price that just does not make sense. And you can pull up, especially in the downtown core and apartments. I'm bringing one to market in the Vancouver house, but in some of these higher end properties, you'll see these listings and they've been on with several different agents for years and years. And at some point you just need to pull the pin and come back to reality. On the buy side, when we are looking at some of these areas, especially in these sales to active ratio spots, I still think detached is the best segment if you can afford it to get in for long-term growth, for long-term asset management, with just how often they are pulling these homes down to build these multiplexes. Dirt in Vancouver is a rare commodity, and there's going to be a subsection of people who have money who are always going to want a detached home, or it does give you the option to be able to sell it off as a developer. And something that is quite interesting too, in the development scheme of things, there are projects that are still making good money for the developers out there. There are developers that are willing to work with homeowners, whether it is to partner. So if you have a larger lot in Vancouver, they will partner with you where you can, get some purchase price on your sale of your home, and you can work as a partner in the project itself for a percentage back, or perhaps, you're downsizing. Maybe you want one of the units that is in the multiplex or duplex space. And then, there is some creativity that you can do with developers now. So if you're in that position, shoot me a message. I can connect you with some of these developers that like to work with homeowners to come up with some strategies to make it a viable option for you. But again, with buyers, this is a great opportunity for you to get something in. I know everyone in the comments is saying, don't catch a falling knife. If you look at some of the data out there, especially with what it costs with construction, we're getting to a point where we are starting to see a bottoming out, because we're going to get to a point where you just can't build for where the properties are at. And we get to a position where, you start to run out of sellers. When you see the market that starts to drop to a certain amount of inventory and a certain amount of pricing, it just may not make sense for a lot of sellers, and then the market can kind of freeze a little bit just because sellers are unwilling to get into the marketplace. And if you don't have inventory and you start to have a bunch of buyers who are ready to go and there's nothing coming onto market that is acceptable, it can start to create and change some of the dynamics in the marketplace. I'm not saying this is happening in 2026, because for myself, I still think we're going to have these micro declines, especially with a record number of mortgage renewals coming up this year. I think we're going to see distressed sales. It's going to continue to bring pricing down slightly, but I do think 2026 is the year for the best value. But here are some wins if you're looking in that detached space.